All right, so here's the deal. There have been a lot of people talking on the internet about why gasoline cars are way better than electric cars, and some on the electric side that would claim otherwise. Well, today I'm here to just put it all to rest. Finally come to you with an answer that makes sense. And the answer I have is that they're both wrong, and I'm going to explain. So it's really not that difficult when you think about it. And I am going to oversimplify things because realistically, this changes and depends drastically where you live in the world. For instance, here in the good old US of A, we are a huge country, very spread out. And electric cars over here are having a harder time grasping the masses because of that recharge time and the lack of infrastructure for it. And while that is expanding and it is getting better, there are obviously issues with it. They do take longer to charge. While a lot of people overestimate that whole recharge time, it is still a concern, and it is still slower than just sticking a nozzle in your gasoline vehicle and filling the thing full. So there is a somewhat argument there. It's blown out of proportion, but it's definitely there. So I'm not gonna argue it doesn't exist. There are also the people who say electric cars can fully replace gasoline cars, and while to a certain degree I can agree with some of that, there are some issues with electric cars as well. It's just early adoption problems to infrastructure problems where clearly if you live out in the middle of nowhere right now, besides maybe your home being where you can charge, you do not have good options for it. And that is a big issue for a lot of Americans who do not live in big cities or commute great distances for their work. Just isn't perfect, doesn't quite work, and that's because of our country. Which brings me to my main point. I'm going to talk about the one I know about because I'm actually interested in one a little bit because I think they're awesome, and it is the best of, in fact, both worlds. It is the Volvo S60 Recharge. Now, the S60 Recharge is a neat vehicle, and it does the best things from both sides. It is a gasoline-powered vehicle up at the front, where the engine is and the front-wheel drive is for the vehicle. But at the back of it, you have an electric motor and batteries down the middle of the car, where you have its own plug-in rechargeable electric system. And they can work together to basically be a plug-in hybrid. So you have the hybrid model, you have a gasoline engine that can run by itself, and you have an electric motor that can also run by itself. So if you want to, you can drive around on its 40 miles of battery-powered charge range, which for most of us in the city is plenty. That would get me to work every day. I would never need to get gasoline unless I'm leaving the city or not recharging my vehicle at home. But again, I have a gasoline engine at my disposal to do so. The other nice thing you have is when those two work together in tandem, you have all-wheel drive, and you have a car that does 0 to 60 in like 4.2 or 4.3 seconds. Plenty fast for the masses. So you don't have a slow car, you have a car that actually is pretty quick. You have the availability of different types of drive in terms. You can have your all-wheel drive if you want it. You can also just scoot around on electric if you also want to do that. You can just also get on the interstate, drive anywhere you want around the country and fill it up with gas while still getting respectable gas mileage as well. Because the front engine, of course, in the S60 Recharge is Volvo's 2-liter turbocharged engine. And in tandem together, when you put the whole system together, I'm just going off the top of my head, it's like 475-ish horsepower and like 500-ish foot-pounds of torque. I mean, this is plenty of power for anyone who just is like, well, electric cars are way faster. This is no slouch by any means. So both sides are actually just wrong. And the answers to our problems here in the United States should be rechargeable plug-in hybrid vehicles. So that's it, really. That's the answer. It's plug-in rechargeable hybrid vehicles where you can have the best of both worlds. Now, there are some downsides to it as well. It's heavy, it's big, it has a motor, it has electric, it's complicated. I'm not going to argue that, but we've been making complicated cars or making cars too complicated for more than 20 years now. So someone's going to figure it out and sell it to the masses and make it work. There's going to be plenty of companies that are going to be able to do that. So until electric vehicles are a little bit quicker to charge and or have way better range than some of them do currently on the market, and until gasoline vehicles can just uber sip down the juice or they become cleaner, then this is the best answer in my opinion. So let me know what you think and what you think about this car. There are plenty of others that actually are this style of plug-in rechargeable hybrid drivetrains. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, leave a like, and I'll see all of you guys in the next one.